on YouTube. Yeah, and then you can bring us in whenever you are. Oh, let me put. Yeah, you go. All right, happy Friday. Welcome in. Time for another edition of the Pony Pundits as we have yet another race to the Derby happening on Saturday, that being tomorrow. And of course, we're going to be going to sunny South Florida to Gulfstream Park for the Fountain of Youth. And we're bringing along two of the very best here, guys, in order to be able to help you make it a profitable day at Gulfstream. Let's bring him in. Marco D'Angelo, back from tanning himself in sunny Pennsylvania, I believe, along with Sig, who also knows a little something about that great sun in Pittsburgh. So how are you guys doing? Marco, always a pleasure to see you again, my friend. We got ourselves another horse race to talk about here this weekend in Gulfstream Park, and this one's a doozy.
Yes, Joe, this is Fountain of Youth has been a great stepping stone for horses getting to the Derby. Of course, last year, Tis the Law was the one that laid down the law here. And let's not forget, a few years ago, Maximum Security went the route through Florida and then on to the Florida Derby. So looking forward to it. And this is it, guys. It's the big show from now until that first week in April. It's going to be all Kentucky Derby preps. And then the first Saturday in May, it all happens.
Yeah, no, it does. It's actually been a pretty good race. I think pretty good launching pad for a few horses with the Belmont as well, Sig. It's got a rich tradition here, and it's got some very intriguing matchups that we're going to go through as far as the entries right now on this card. But your initial thoughts of this race as we get ready tomorrow?
Joe, I think we're going to probably see one of the top Kentucky Derby contenders coming out of this Fountain of Youth. The Florida route is always one of the toughest routes to get to the Kentucky Derby. Most of the top horses are down in the Florida area, or at least in the southern area, down either Southern California or at Oaklawn Park. Even Oaklawn Park's been experiencing some of the winter weather we get in the Northeast here. So we normally see some very good racing coming out of Gulfstream this time of year. And usually at this time of year, I'm starting to get a feel for which 3-year-olds I'm leaning towards as being on my top Derby contenders. Right now, I still don't have any idea who I think the top Derby contenders are. Hopefully, Saturday is going to clear some of that up.
Yeah, it's. I'm sure it is, guys, because we're going to go through each entry here one by one. We'll go ahead and rotate between Sig and Marco, get their thoughts on each of these horses. Then, of course, we'll end with a couple of best bets from both of their cards for this race. But I do want to let you know a couple of very interesting things going on with both of these gentlemen right now. In fact, Sig himself here has the ability for you to grab, I believe, Sig, all of your reports now through the Belmont for just $169. That's 5 sheets, I believe, per week for the next 15 weeks. An unbelievable deal, just $169. Guys can go ahead and have access to all of your racing sheets from now through to Belmont. That's a great, great opportunity for folks to hop on board right now at WagerTalk.com.
That is Joe. Johnny Detroit up there at the home office of WagerTalk. Just put that offer out there. You guys are going to be able to get every report between now and the Belmont Stakes, which means every Derby preparation will cover. The Kentucky Derby, the Preakness, and the Belmont Stakes, including all the weekday racing that we cover. Currently at Gulfstream, April all month will be at Keeneland, will be at Churchill, and then at Belmont. So you'll be able to get a ton of racing coverage. And guys, Get this, if you order this package, I guess probably today, tomorrow, tell them you watched it on the show, and email our support at wagertalk.com. They're going to give you back $75 in wager bucks. Just send them the receipt in the email, and you're going to get back 75 in wager bucks. Only 169. It's going to be less than, I think, about $12 a day, or $12 a week. I'm sorry, for all my reports when they're normally $9 a day.
That's awesome, man. Absolutely. Time to make it a profitable 2021 at the track. And Marco, you yourself, you got a 3-day all-access package, which will include all of your plays tomorrow at Gulfstream Park, including, of course, college basketball, NBA, everything that you've got going on over the next 3 days for just $69 at WagerTalk.
Yeah, Joe, great offer. Currently the #1 handicapper at WagerTalk in 2021 in both win profit and winning percentage. So let's keep that rolling along. And we do like this Fountain of Youth. I think it's going to be a good betting race. We'll have all of our betting strategies for the exactas and trifectas available tomorrow. We'll break the race itself down here right now today on the Pony Pundits.
Let's do this here, guys. Let's look at the entries here. Let's look at the full card right now. 14th race at Gulfstream. That being on Saturday, the Fountain of Youth. And we're going to start with #1. Sig, I'm coming to you. Drain the Clock. So fitting for this time of year, right about now with basketball and everything else going on. But what are your initials? 5-1 morning line odds. Your initial thoughts on this horse in this race?
Well, Joe, I object, first of all. Marco and I take turns each week with the odd horses and the even horses. Almost all the horses I like in the Fountain of Youth tomorrow are even horses. So I have to talk and say something nice about all these odd horses, no pun intended. But for Drain the Clock here, this Saffie Joseph trained colt has won every race that he's finished so far. He did lose the rider over at Delta Downs in the John Lafitte back in November and didn't finish the race. But every other race in his career, he has won, and he's won them pretty impressively. His last 2 performances, he won by more than 13 lengths, winning, and he's never gone off at worse than 2-1. So this horse will be bet tomorrow at the windows. Saffie Joseph's a well-known trainer and a good trainer down at Gulfstream Park. My main concerns, though, with Drain the Clock is that will he be able to get the distance? He's never gone further than 7 furlongs yet. And is he fast enough? I mean, a lot of these horses that we've seen have gradually improving speed figures, and he hasn't faced any world beaters yet. I mean, if you look back, he won the Swale, he won the Limehouse, but some of these other horses came out of the Holy Bull and some other tougher races. So I'm going to use Drain the Clock underneath on a few bets, but I don't believe he's going to be a win contender on Saturday.
All right, well, we're going to learn. Is he a Kentucky Derby contender or just a pure sprinter? We'll figure that out coming up, sure enough. #2 here. What a shock. You can tell who put this order together. Marco, Prime Factor. Talk to us. Todd Pletcher, Irad Ortiz Jr., 5-1, also early line. Your thoughts on Prime Factor?
Well, obviously, anytime you get the combo of Todd Pletcher and Irad Ortiz, you're going to get to the win window, get your picture taken, basically 1 out of every 3 bets. So they're winning at a 34% clip, these two, when they get together. And Prime Factor, well, he's got to get it done. This is a $900,000 purchase for this horse. And, you know, he disappointed last time. He was the favorite in the last race when these horses hooked up in the Holy Bull. And a horse we'll talk about later, Greatest Honor, just went by him standing still. I think Irad maybe had this horse a little bit in the fray too early, Joe, and made his move. And then whenever it was time to press the go button at the top of the stretch, he looked like he was in perfect spot. He didn't respond, and especially whenever Greatest Honor went by him, it almost looked like the horse quit, and he finished a distant third. So he's going to have to make up some ground here. I think that was the first time at the longer distance. Maybe they'll do things a little different where they have him positioned in this one. I expect him to be better, but I like a couple other horses a little bit better than him, but be sure to use him on your ticket. This is a second. He only has 2 starts, guys. You can see a big jump from this horse yet. And with that price tag, they're definitely hoping for it.
Sig, I'm wondering, is Greatest Honor an odd or an even number horse, and who's going to have to? Never mind, we'll figure that out. Let's go to the third horse right now, if we could. The number 3, So Subtle. And Sig, what a difference. From the grass to the dirt, like night and day here, and pretty impressive back on the 20th 1 mile race at Gulfstream. Didn't like the grass, seemed to like the dirt an awful lot.
That's true, Joe. Yeah, they debuted him back in December on the turf. He tired running, and he didn't really ever make an impact in that race. When they brought him back last month, he pretty much wired that field going the mile at Gulfstream. So I can see how they want to put him into this race here. He was on Lasix that day, though, and he won't be in our stakes race tomorrow. So that could have made the big difference. I mean, the change from turf to dirt definitely made a difference for him, but being on Lasix could have had a huge impact on his performance that day. The works haven't been that impressive, and the trainer, Armando de la Cerda, hasn't found much success in stakes races or moving these horses up in class. And this one's making a big jump from the maiden race right into a graded stakes. I don't give him much of a chance in here, and I'm going to be not so subtle, and I'm going to toss him on Saturday.
Damn, you know he'd been holding on to that for a while there, Marco. He was ready for So Subtle. Love it, Sig. Let's look at Fire at Will, one of the morning line early favorites there, 7-2. Marco, talk about, here we go again, from grass to the main track here. Only this horse here, Fire at Will, had some success on the grass. Your thoughts?
Well, that's the key to it, Joe. This is a horse that you talk about success. He won the Breeders' Cup Turf Juvenile. That's about as good as you can get on the grass. And you got Michael Maker, who's known for turning horses around on the grass. He's a turf specialist. Whenever he makes a move like this, I got to respect it. They're looking for the Kentucky Derby. Now, you could say, this is a test race for him. How does he respond? He has raced once on the dirt, but it was a muddy track because the race got taken off the turf. He did do well in that race, but I think that this is a spot where you've got a sharp trainer, you've got a hot jockey. I'm going to ride this one. I think this horse is going to be good on Saturday. And the question is, do I pull the trigger on the 4 for the win, or do I use them hard in the exactas? You'll find out at the end of the show, but this is a horse that's definitely in my top contenders.
That's what you call a tease, folks. That's exactly what that was. Well done, Marco. Let's look at this number 5 horse, if we can. Is it Giraffles? How do we pronounce this, Sig? Never mind. You're going to talk about him, so hold on. 20-1 is what he went off on early here. Another one of these horses that just seemed outclassed in the Holy Bull. 20-1, big number. Your thoughts on this horse?
I believe it's Giraffles, and I'm trying to find something nice to say about this horse, but he doesn't make it easy. He broke his maiden in the first asking back in November and then returned in the Holy Bull last month. He was 17 lengths behind Greatest Honor, Tarantino, and Prime Factor, all horses he's going to face again tomorrow in the Fountain of Youth. The one thing that I did find interesting was that J.J. Castellanos hopping aboard to ride, and he doesn't ride often for the trainer, Gustav Delgado. It's an interesting mount, but I also thought Castellano had been off for basically 3 months from November until last week at Gulfstream, and he may have just had the ability to hop on a horse in a big stakes race here. So I don't think that's going to be that much of a factor. This horse is a toss for me.
Get it out there. All right, moving on. Number 6 here in the race tomorrow. Let's take a look at King's Ovation for the Fountain of Youth. And 15-1 morning line here on this horse, Marco. And Dale Roman's going to try to stretch this horse out. We've seen him as a sprinter. What do you think in this spot?
Yeah, a lot of people are going to look at his last race and say, oh, he ran second to Drain the Clock. Well, if you like Drain the Clock, then that means you should look at King's Ovation as well. No, don't. And here's why. King's Ovation just passed Dead Horses in the stretch. He was sitting next to last the entire race, and the horse that was sitting last, those two horses in the stretch in tandem passed all of the other early horses in the race that were doing all the work. I'm not impressed with King's Ovation. I don't think he gets the distance. I don't think he has the speed to run with these horses. Yeah, Dale Romans can get a horse to the wire at a big number, but if he runs me over, he runs me over. Won't be the first time Dale Romans horses run me over, but there'll be no ovation for me from the king in this one.
So number 7 here, Sig, in the race here. Tarantino, it made a lot of people very happy at the Holy Bull there, finishing second to Greatest Honor. Another one of these horses started out on the grass, went to the main track, did really, really well. What do you think for a follow-up here?
Well, Joe Tarantino, I had Greatest Honor back on Holy Bull Day. If you guys watched the show back then, I did not have Tarantino. I didn't think the switch from turf to dirt in the Holy Bull was going to be that successful for him. He really impressed me with that run, finishing second. He blew up those exacta tickets. But this was a Bob Baffert trainee. He started out his career in the Baffert barn in Southern California, broke his maiden, came back, finished a game second in the Zuma Beach. And then they transferred him. The connections transferred him over to the barn of Rudolph Broussette, who's a French trainer who came over and started making his name here in the U.S. He won his debut for them in an allowance, and they brought him back here. That allowance was also on turf, and then they threw him into the dirt race in the Holy Bull, and he was basically challenging and up on the lead for the entire race, which I thought was impressive. So I don't think I'll have any problem with the distance in here. He won at that first asking on the dirt finished second in that first asking on the dirt for them. Can he repeat that performance is the question. I don't think he makes the jump to a win contender in here, but I will definitely use him underneath in exotics. I think he has a nice upside.
All right. Well, that brings us to number 8. And look at that. Brings us back to Marco. Greatest Honor here. Marco, the other half of the Ortiz family there. What do you think? Are we going to see a repeat of what we did at the Holy Bull?
Well, I just want to say it's a great honor that I get to do the even horses this week. But Greatest Honor, this is the horse to beat on paper. He's going to be bet heavily at the windows based off of his race in the Holy Bull last time out. And how can you fault it? When he made his move and loomed up large and went right by the horses, swooping by the other horse that we talked about, Prime Factor, this horse stamped himself as a legitimate Kentucky Derby contender. Now, the thing is, how much are they going to bet him? He's 9-5 in the morning line. He's going to get bet tomorrow. Could go off, even money or less. At that point, there's no value to me on the win selection. But again, I have to put him on top. But there's other ways to make money in these races, even if you do get chalked in there and how you play your exactas and structure your tries. I will be using Greatest Honor. But I think the value may be to the other even number horse, that 4 that we talked about, Fire at Will be a better price, and I think has a big upside. The only other thing that a lot of people are talking about with Greatest Honor is the fact that did he peak too soon? Because he put up a big speed figure in that last race, and a lot of people are throwing the term around, will he bounce this week? And bounce is a term that means if a horse goes too much in his last race, it takes a lot out of him for his next race and has a dull effort. In sports betting, that would be a letdown spot. But I don't see that with this horse. You've got good connections here. Chug McGahee knows what he's doing. You've got one of the hottest jockeys on the planet with Jose Ortiz. You can't go wrong there with either of the Ortiz brothers. You might be looking at an Ortiz exacta in this one. That's always a good way to go at Gulfstream, too.
Yeah, I was going to say, it wouldn't be the first time that we've seen that. Sig, as I look at this number 9 horse, maybe I'm thinking maybe you wanted the odds just for Tiz Tac-Toe here, and I don't get it. It's like I'm looking at this horse and I'm going, on paper, why is this horse even in the race? And again, but maybe we're going from grass to dirt. Maybe it's got a shot here to surprise a few people. Your thoughts?
Joe, this one has all the angles covered. First off, he got cleaned out of his last race on the turf by a new trainer, new barn. The new barn's adding blinkers. The new barn also gave him the ultimate equipment change, which, I don't know, it just hurts to think about. and the move in the dirt. He still has not broke his maiden on the turf. Breeding can say, I mean, he might have some dirt success, but the works aren't that impressive for the new barn so far. Try to find something positive on him, and really can't. He's another toss for me.
Yeah, well, there we go. That leaves us one more, I believe, here on the field for the Fountain of Youth. That being number 10. Is it Papa Two there at 15-1? Junior Alvarado on this one. Marco, your thoughts here?
Yeah, this one got a little bit of play last time in the Holy Bull and really was no factor. Came on to finish fourth at the end of that race, but a well-beaten fourth. Again, like we talked about King's Ovation, this was a horse that just simply passed some tired horses in the stretch to get that fourth place finish, 10 lengths behind the leader. I don't like the horse, and I can tell you that Gulfstream Park, you get these two-turn races and you get the outside, it's tough to overcome that unless you're a good horse. I don't put this horse with his speed figures in that category. So it's going to be a long day for him. Maybe could run on the bottom of a superfecta, but that's about it for me. It's a pitch for me on number 10.
All right. Well, it's about that time then. We put it all together, figure out what the recommendations in the card is going to look like. So I do want to remind you guys just one more time here. Marco himself has a great opportunity at WagerTalk.com right now. You can get all access. That means every player hits for the next 3 days for $69. Includes whatever his card is going to be tomorrow in this Fountain of Youth, along with every NBA, NHL, college hoops, you name it. Never miss a play for $69. And that wouldn't be a bad idea either, especially if you guys want to make it a very profitable next couple of months with SIG. And at the track here, as he's offering all of his race cards from now through the Belmont for $169. A great opportunity for you to profit each and every week leading up and through the Belmont here for just $169 with SIG. Make sure you guys check out both their pages at WagerTalk.com. And SIG, I'm coming to you, my friend, first, because you got the odd numbers here. So I want to hear who you got going on. Talk to me about your card here for the Fountain of Youth tomorrow.
Joe, I ended up on 3 even numbers here and 1 odd number. I rode Greatest Honor in the Holy Bull. I'm riding him again tomorrow. I think he might be a special horse. If you guys look at the works and say, wow, he's working slow, Shug McGay, he never works his horses fast. He showed what he could do in the Holy Bull. I'm going to see him making that kind of run again tomorrow. Prime Factor, I think he basically, that was only the second race in the Holy Bull. Pletcher has the ability to have these horses turn around and improve dramatically, race to race. I think Prime Factor is definitely a win contender in here. Fire Will, I think, is the fastest horse in here. The question is, will he make the transition from the turf to the dirt? I think he'll have the ability to, and I think he'll definitely be a factor in here. And then Tarantino, any improvement off that effort in the Holy Bull is going to keep him in here and hit the board definitely for sure. So 8, 2, 4, 7 are my numbers. I'm going to play some tickets with the 8 keyed on top. I'll play a couple tickets with the 2, 4, 7 on top, 8 in the second spot. But I think you're getting through this race with those numbers, 8, 2, 4, 7.
Marco, Sig's never going to, if you don't have an odd horse on your selections, I'm telling you, Sig's never going to talk to you again. So, go ahead, Marco. Who you going with on the card? Talk to us.
Well, it's 2, 4, 8. Who do you appreciate? The top horses here. I mixed those ones up, and I just want to say one thing. Sig opened his picks with saying that he rode Greatest Honor in the Holy Bull, and he's riding them again here in the Fountain of Youth, and he's a special horse. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, if Sig's riding that horse and he's still winning, it is a special horse.
Damn straight.
Sig around the track. So if Sig's up, I might reverse my order here, but it is the 8. Greatest Honor is the horse to beat. The value I feel, though, is in my second choice, number 4, Fire at Will. I'm going to respect Michael Maker making the decision to go to the dirt. This is not a feeler race. This is a race where we got to know right now what we can do on the dirt and if we're going to continue our road to the Kentucky Derby. So they're not fooling around with this one. We're going to get the best effort out of Fire at Will. And then Prime Factor, disappointing last race, guys, but He's only raced 2 career starts. You can see that light bulb go off. Maybe I think they raced the horse strategy-wise a little differently this week. I expect him to be better. And finishing it out, I actually had 2 odd number horses. I was between the 1, Drain the Clock, and the 7, Tarantino. I think either one of those horses have to be used in your exotics on the bottom end, but I went with Drain the Clock. Safi Joseph just does so well down here at Gulfstream with horses. And when these 2 guys hook up, jockey trainer combo, they've been dynamite as well. So I think the stretch out for this horse is the question. But when you look how easy he won at the sprint level, let's see if he can get a little more distance. And if they let this horse go by himself on the front end, Joe, you know we've seen it before at Gulfstream. You let a horse alone on the lead in modest fractions, they can steal a race. And that's my concern with Drain the Clock. And that's why I ended up putting him in the 4th spot.
All right. Well, there you go, guys. Plenty of opportunities this weekend to make it certainly a profitable one. But Fountain of Youth at Gulfstream Park on Saturday is going to provide some opportunities. So that's why it's important to head over to WagerTalk.com. Take advantage of Sig's offer right now. Get every one of his race sheets from now through Belmont for $169. That's amazing. And, of course, 3-day all-access pass from Marco right now for just $69. Get every play he posts over the weekend, including all of his favorite selections on the card tomorrow at Gulfstream for just $69. Head over to WagerTalk.com. Take advantage of it, guys. So, Marco D'Angelo, always a pleasure, my man. Sig, we will certainly do this again here on Pony Pundits as we get ready, like everyone else, to the road to the Kentucky Derby. So head over to WagerTalk, guys. Make sure you hit that bell in the upper right-hand corner. Subscribe to the page and come back and join us for yet another edition of the Pony Pundits. Good luck this weekend, guys. We'll talk to you soon.